everybody, welcome back. So this week I thought it would be fun to kind of do a tutorial and to change it up a little bit and to burn through some of our yarn that we may have. It's a good scrap project. You can make a bunch of different kinds of the things we're going to make today. Today we're going to make a little froggy friend. He's an egg-shaped froggy. And the pattern we're using is from yarnspirations.com. I'll put the link down below. And you can make all sorts of different kinds of these with any kind of yarn you have. I'm using Red Heart Super Saver today because I have a lot of it. And but this is easy to make, very simple. You can use a bunch of different scrap yarn, make all sorts of different colors, all sorts of different kinds of friends. And as you see in the pattern, there's a few different kinds you can make. A frog, a fish, a koala, a dinosaur, I believe, and a monster, I think. So let's grab our 5.5 millimeter hook and let's make Freddy the Frog. Alright, so this week I thought it would be fun to make some crochet egg guys. The pattern is from yarnspirations.com. I'll put the link down below in case you want to go grab it and follow along with me. But I thought it would be fun this week to make some crocheted egg guys. I thought they were cute when I saw the pattern, so I couldn't resist. So get the pattern and follow along with me, and then you're going to need a yarn needle, some scissors, any kind of scissors work, 2 colors of yarn. I'm going to make the little frog dude here, the little green frog on the end, but you can follow along with any of them if you want, but I'm going to make the little frog one today. And then I'm going to use the colors green and yellow, and then the hook size I'm going to use is a 5.5 millimeter hook. Other than that, once you got all your supplies, let's get started. Okay, so let's get started making our little frog dude. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with a slip knot. Okay. And then what you're going to do is you're just going to chain 4 to begin. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then what you're going to do is you're going to do a slip stitch, but you're going to do a slip stitch in that last single crochet of your chain that you made. So you're basically making a ring to get started. So just do a slip stitch, just like that. And then where you're going to be working is right in the middle here, okay? So what you're going to do now is you're going to chain 1 to get started once you've got your ring made. And then you're going to do 10 single crochets inside that ring. So just put your hook in and do a single crochet. That was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, that's 8, 9, and 1 more makes 10. Okay, and then because you've crocheted over your little tail here, you can use that to pull your ring a little tighter, so there's not such a big gap. There we go. Okay, and then what you're going to do is you can also use a stitch marker. Let's see if I can find mine. It's to usually keep track of your rows. So if you want a stitch marker, you don't have to use a fancy stitch marker like that. You can use bobby pins, paper clips, safety pin, whatever you can find around your house if you don't have regular stitch markers. Okay, so what you're going to do is next round, okay, so for round 2, what you're going to do is you're going to place 1 stitch marker, or not 1 stitch, all right, and in the first stitch you're going to do 1 single crochet. Okay, and then that's where you're going to place, that's where I'm going to place my stitch marker, is where the first stitch of the round that I started with, just so I keep track of where I start, and that way I know where to stop. And then you're going to put 2 single crochets in the stitch after that. So 1 and 2. So that's called an increase. So then the next stitch will be 1, single crochet, and then 2 in the stitch after that. Okay, so you're going from 10 stitches to 15. And once you're done round 2, I will meet up with you and we will move on to round 3. So for round 3, you're going to be putting 1 single crochet in that first stitch. And don't forget to place your stitch marker. Okay, and then 1 in the second stitch. So that's 1, 2, and then increase in the third, which is 2 single crochets in the same stitch. Okay, so then it's 1 and 2, and then in the last stitch 3 and 4. Okay, and you're going to do that all the way around, and I'll meet back with you for round 4. Okay, so for round 4, it's going to be really simple. You're just going to put 1 single crochet in each stitch all the way around. Still keep using your stitch marker if you have one, or if you're not, and if you're counting, try not to lose count. But you're just going to put 1 stitch in each, all the way around. And then once you get back to the beginning, I'll meet you there and we will do round 5 together. So for round 5, what you're going to do is you're going to put 1 single crochet in each of the next 3 stitches, remembering to place your stitch marker at the first stitch. And then that's 2 and 3. And then you're going to place 2 single crochets in the 4th. So increase in the 4th stitch. So it's 1, 2, 3, and then increase in the 4th. Okay, I'm just going to do that all the way around. Once you get back to the beginning, I will meet up with you and we will keep going. So that's the end of round 5, and this is kind of what your piece should start to look like. It's starting to cup a little bit. So for round 6, what we're going to do is 1 single crochet in each of the next 4 stitches. Remembering to put your stitch marker back. Okay, that's 2, 3, and 4, and then increase in the 5th. So 1 and 2. So 1, 2, that's 3 and 4, and then 1, 2. Increase in the 5th. So once you're done round 6, move on to round 7. It's just 1 single crochet in each stitch all the way around, and I will meet up with you once you're done 6 and 7, and I'll meet up with you for round 8. All right, so after you've done round 6 and 7, this is what your piece should start to look like. Now we're going to do round 8, which is the last round of increasing before we make it a little bit longer. So what you're going to do is you're going to put 1 single crochet in the first 5 stitches. Don't forget to place your stitch marker. That's 2 and 3, 4, 5, and then 1 and 2. Okay, and then it's going to be the same thing all the way around. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then a 6th that's an increase. So 1, 2. So do that all the way around, and I will meet up with you and we'll move on to the next part together. All right, so for rounds 9 to 15, you're just going to put 1 single crochet in each stitch all the way around. So just for the next few rounds, all you're going to do is just 1 single crochet in each stitch. So from round 9 to 15, that's all you're doing. Once you're done, once you've finished round 15, I will meet up with you and we will start decreasing. All right, so once you're done round 15, this is what your piece should start to look like. Okay, so now we're going to start decreasing, which means we're going to start making it smaller. So what you want to do is you want to do a single crochet in the next 5 stitches. That's 1, that's 2, that's 3, 4, and 5. And then in the next 2 stitches, you're going to put them together to make 1. So insert your hook, and pull up a loop. Don't finish the stitch. And then insert your hook into the next stitch, pull up another loop. So then you have a total of 3 on your hook. Then yarn over and yarn pull through all 3 of those loops. So then you're turning 2 stitches into 1 stitch. That's called a single crochet 2 together. So then you're just going to repeat that process. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then do a single crochet 2 together. Okay, by the end of this round, you should have 30 stitches at the end. Once you're done, I'll meet you at the beginning and we'll move on. So for round 17, what we're gonna do is we're gonna keep on decreasing. So 1 single crochet in the next 4 stitches now. So that's 1, that's 2, 3, and 4, and then you're going to single crochet 2 together, just like we did in the previous round. Okay, and then again, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then single crochet 2 together. Okay, and then you're just going to keep going all the way around, and I'll meet you back for round 18. All right, so for round 18, you're going to keep on decreasing. So it's 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches. So that was 1, that's 2, and then 3. Okay, and then it's a single crochet 2 together. Okay, and then just keep repeating. So 1, 2, and 3, and then decrease. And just keep going all the way around. 1, 2, 3, and then decrease. 1, 2, 3, and oops, decrease. Okay, and last one, 1, 2, and 3, and decrease. There we go. That's round 18. You should have 20 stitches by the end of round 18. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to pull up a loop a little bit, put our hook to the side, and we're actually going to add a little bit of stuffing. Now you can add a ball of scrap yarn. You can use any kind of stuffing you have. I just have regular toy stuffing because that's all I've got beside me right now. So I'm just going to grab a little bit of that. And all it looks like is this, just fluffy, plushy stuff that you can use for anything really. And I'm just going to start stuffing my little froggy friend here. And I'm just going to add a little bit, and then I can add more as I go. You can add more as your hole gets smaller. So that way you're not worried about stuffing getting in your stitches and all that stuff. So you can just kind of just add as you go until you feel that you've added enough. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to keep on decreasing. So you're going to put 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches. And again, don't forget your stitch marker if you're using one. If you're counting, good for you. That was 2, and then it's a decrease. So 1 and 2. There. Okay, and then you just keep going. So 1 and 2, and then a decrease. Okay, like that. So just repeat that all the way around, and I'll catch up with you in a little bit. Okay, for round 20, we're going to decrease again. So it's 1 single crochet in the next stitch. Add your stitch marker to keep track. And then it's a decrease. Okay. So then it's 1 single crochet and then decrease. And then just do that all the way back to the beginning. Okay. Almost there. I'm definitely going to have to add a bit more stuffing here, so there we go. I'm going to take a second and just add a little bit more stuffing just to make him a little bit more firm, so he's not so squishy. You can add, as like I said, as much stuffing or as little stuffing, or even if you're using a scrap ball of yarn, that works too. Whatever you are using is fine. It's honestly whatever you have on hand. Okay, and now what you're going to do is you're actually going to single, just for the last decrease round, all you're going to do is single crochet 2 together until you're left with 5 stitches. So you're just going to do a decrease 5 times. So that's 1, 2, that is, oops, 3, 4, and last one, oops, 5. Okay, now here's what you want to do is you want to fasten off and leave a tail so you have something to sew. Make sure you leave a long enough tail. So just leave a long enough tail for sewing. Pull your tail through, and then what you want to do is take a second and sew your little hole closed there. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to pick up the stitches on the outside and kind of create like a little drawstring almost. And then I'm just going to go back and forth over and around the hole just to make sure that the hole is closed nice and tight, and that nothing opens back up. And there we go. Then you can just trim your tail, make it disappear. There we go. And that is the egg body of our friend. Now let's work on the extras, the face, the arms and legs. So what you want to do is we're going to start creating the circle for our details for our frog friend here. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the circle for his tummy. And what you're going to do is you're going to start with a chain 2 to get started. And then what you're going to do now is you're going to put 6 single crochets in that second chain from your hook. So it's going to create the round, the beginning of the round for you. That's 2. That's 3, 4, that's 5, and 6. Okay. And now what you're going to do is you're just going to keep going in the round in a spiral, and you're going to put 2 single crochets in each stitch around, going from 6 stitches to 12. So I'm going to use my stitch marker to keep track of my rounds, make sure I'm not losing my spot. That way I know where to start and stop. And like I said, you're just putting 2 stitches in each all the way around, going from 6 to 12. Very simple circle. Okay, there we go. Last one, there. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to do an increase row, which means we're going to do 1 single crochet in the first stitch. And remember to put your stitch marker back. And then 2 single crochets in the next one after that. So be 1 and then increase. So just keep going, do that all the way around, and I will meet back with you when you're finished. All right, so last round of the tummy, and you're just going to do one more increase. So it's 1 single crochet in the first 2 stitches. Okay, and then 2 in the third. Okay, so it's 1 and 2, and then 3 and 4. So once you get back to the beginning, slip stitch into that first stitch you made, and then I will meet you there and we will finish off our tummy together. Okay, so what you want to do is after you're done your round, you're going to slip stitch to that first stitch you made, and then you're just going to trim your yarn and cut it. And then what you're going to do is if you want to get a kind of a jump start, you can sew your tummy of your frog onto the front, onto the front side. So I'm aiming for about there because you need space for his eyes and stuff. So I'm going to say right about there looks good to me. And then what you want to do is you just want to pick up a piece of the body and a piece of the tummy and get as close to the tummy as you can. That way you don't see, or you hardly see, the stitches you're making. And you're just going to go all the way around. Just to make it easier, we're just going to sew the tummy on right now. Less to do later. Because your body's all finished, you just need to stitch on the tummy, and then we'll move on and make the rest of the pieces. I'm just going to keep going with my little tummy here, starting to stitch them on, and I'll meet up with you when you're finished. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to work on the arms and the feet for our froggy friend. If you want to take a second and embroider on a face like I did, go for it. Or you can use safety eyes if you have safety eyes. I'd recommend putting the safety eyes in before you close them up. Or you can glue on buttons or whatever, but I just kind of embroider on a simple little face just to make it quick and easy. But let's make his arms and his feet. So we're going to start with the arms, and you need to make 2. So what we're going to do is we're just going to do a slip knot, and we're just going to chain. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Chain 7 to begin, and then you're just going to slip stitch into the second stitch from your hook, slip stitch in the third chain from your hook, and then what you're going to do is you're going to chain 2 from there, slip stitch back into that second chain from your hook, and then slip stitch back into that same space that that the chain came out of, and then just slip stitch back down your chain. That's just a simple little arm, or you could just do a chain and stitch it on. It's just a simple arm, nothing fancy. Okay, and then just chain 1. Now trim your yarn to stitch on your arm, and then just stitch it onto the side of your frog. And all I'm going to do is, because I've got 2 tails, I'm going to aim for where I put the other one, as close as I can get. And I'm just going to come out anywhere on the body and pull one tail through. I'm going to thread up the other tail, and then just stick my hook in anywhere. That's not the same place I just did, and come out in the same place as the other tail. Pull it a little tight, and then just take both ends. Okay, and then double knot, tie them in a knot. Maybe do it 2 or 3 times so it's secure. Trim your tails. And I'm just going to stuff them with the back end of my scissors here back into the frog. So then they're not seen. And there is a little arm for your froggy friend. Now let's work on his feet. So we're just going to do a simple little triangle. To start off, you're going to do a chain 2 just to get going. So 1, 2, and then you're going to put 1 single crochet in that second chain from your hook. Okay, and then you're going to chain 1, turn your work, and then you're going to put 3 single crochets in that 1 stitch. So 1, 2, 3, chain 1, turn your work, and then just 1 stitch in each, so you should still stay at 3. Okay, and then chain 1, turn. Okay, and then you're going to put 2 single crochets in the first stitch, 1 single crochet in the middle, and then 2 single crochets on that last stitch. So now you should have 5 stitches. Then you're going to chain 1, turn for the last time, and then just 1 single crochet in each stitch. You should have 5 stitches by the time you're done. And you're going to need to make 2 of these as well, because the frog has 2 feet. Turn your yarn, and then you're going to start by sewing it onto your frog, onto the bottom of his onto the bottom, or the other one, just adjacent to the other one. And I'm going to kind of do what I did with the other tails for the arms. I'm going to stick this shorter one somewhere, and I'm going to kind of place my foot probably about there. And then I'm going to take this shorter tail, and I'm just going to make it come out somewhere, anywhere on the body that's close to the foot. Then I'm going to take my other tail and use that longer tail to sew on the foot. But I'm not going to sew it all the way. I'm going to leave it so it can fold up and down a little bit. So I'm just going to stitch it on just a little bit. I'm not going to go all the way around the foot, because then you don't see it. So I'm just going to go a little bit up the side. I'm not going to go too far, because you, again, want your foot to fold or curl up or whatever. And then I'm going to take this tail as well, and I'm going to make it come out where the other one came out. I'm just going to do what I did with the other one, which is tie them in a knot, or a double knot, triple knot, whatever you're comfortable with. Okay, there we go. Then I'm just going to give a little trim, and then stuff my ends back in. There we go. And that is our little froggy friend. And he even stands up. How about that? Thanks for watching today, everybody. I thought it would be fun to make Freddy the Frog. And if you're going to make Freddy the Frog, I'd love to see some pictures of what your frogs look like. So you can tag me in my Instagram, or you can leave a comment down below. But don't forget to subscribe, and I will see all of you next week for more crochet fun. Bye, everybody.